Hey everybody, welcome to the Science of Golf Performance. My name is Tyler, and I'm going to talk to you about the 3 most common injuries among golfers of all ages. I think it's no question that maybe the most common injury that we see, and just about everybody else can agree with me here, is lower back. Obviously, the rotational nature of the golf swing, a lot of low back injuries, especially later on in a lot of golfers' careers. The second injury that we see the most often will be shoulder injuries, specifically on trail side. The last injury that we see the most often is coming from knees, whether it be on lead side or even trail side. So a good question here is, how can you prevent these injuries? Maybe you've been injury-free throughout your entire golf career, and you're saying, oh my goodness, I do not want to hurt my low back anytime soon. A really good way to go about this is first you have to address the tissue surrounding your low back. So your low back is controlled by your lumbopelvic hip complex. Your shoulder is controlled by your shoulder girdle, and your knee is controlled by your femur and hamstring that cross over the joint, as well as your calf and soleus. Those areas need to be addressed from a tissue perspective. And what I mean by that is they need to be hit with a myofascial release technique. I like to tell everybody we do this as a prehab, not a rehab. And what I mean by that is if you are injury resistant, you pass all the mobility, you still need to be doing this because we need to prepare for a long golf season ahead. Maybe you have a trip later on in the season that's 7 days. You're going to be playing 36 holes on some days. You're going to be playing golf every single day. We need to prepare your body for this. So a myofascial release technique around the muscles, the tissues with your lacrosse ball or your softball would be number 1 for any one of these injuries. The second after that is you have to start activating these movement patterns. So your shoulder, you need to be doing some type of overloaded shoulder external rotation work to make sure that you're able to turn the correct muscles on and turn the correct muscles off. Or the muscles around your hips, you need to be doing some type of, whether it be banded or whether it be just manual resistance. You need to be doing some type of work that are going to turn those muscles on and off. A really good example here is I've explained this as in like a light switch. If you can't turn those muscles on, if you can't turn the light switch on, when you go to swing your club, those muscles aren't going to know how to turn on because you haven't been turning them on in training, and that's going to cause an injury. Okay? So activation is the light switch. After that, the third step after you do mobility activation is strength work. Okay? This, piggybacking off of the first example, is your dimmer switch. So if you can activate the muscles, you turn the dimmer on, but it's really low. It's barely turning the lights on. The strength work is when you turn it from a dim light to an extremely bright. So what this does then is it overloads these specific movement patterns. It activates those muscles to get them to turn on, and it creates a neurological effect that makes them stronger in this movement pattern. So when you're out on your golf trip later this summer and you're golfing 5 straight days, or you're walking 36 holes in one day, your muscles are strong enough to withstand the stress that's involved in playing an entire round and taking full intense swings for 36 holes in a day. So just to recap, mobility, activation, and strength work among your hips, your shoulders, and your knees to help keep you injury resistant and create longevity in golf. I hope you found this video resourceful. If you did, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and check out the rest of our content.